चल अपने नाल वे हो डाची वालेया मोड़ मुहाद वे हो डाची वालेया मोड़ मुहाद वे सोनी वालेया ले चल नाल वे तेरे डाची दे गल विच डलियां वे मैं पीर मनावन चलिया हो तेरी डाची दे गल विच डलियां वे मैं पीर मनावन चलिया तेरी डाची दी सोनी चाल वे हाय तेरी डाची दी सोनी चाल वे हो डाची वालेया मोड़ मुहाद वे हो डाची वालेया मोड़ मुहाद वे सोनी वालेया ले चल नाल वे
Hey, Banat. Thank you so much for being on the show. And that song was beautiful.
Thank you.
So, can you tell me what Daachi Waaleya means?
Yeah. So Daachi is a very old Punjabi word for a female camel. And yeah. And I actually had no idea. I had to ask my grandmom what it means. So she said, yeah, I do recall people saying Daachi.
Yeah.
It's like archaic almost. People don't use it anymore.
Wow.
But Daachi Waaleya is like a traveler. He goes around with his camel. Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
So that's what the song's kind of about.
The song is actually about longingness. So this is a woman who is married to a traveler.
Yeah.
And he goes around with his female camel wherever he's going. So she really misses him because he's not been back home for a while.
Yeah.
And she's asking him to come back with his camel or take her with him. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, the song, it's really nice. I really like the song.
It is.
Yeah.
There's something that's really different about it, which is what, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I was just like, I just have never heard this word. So I was like, what does Daachi mean? It's strange because you're now telling me this is not even like an everyday used word.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
Okay, so one of the things in my deep dive research is that you actually started playing harmonium at like the age of 5.
Yeah.
Wow. And so this was like because of your grandma who telling you was that what does Daachi mean? And then she's telling you. So she was the one who got you into music?
Yeah. I actually, yes. So my grandmom would force me to learn the harmonium. So yes, she's responsible for me being in music right now. Wow. If she wouldn't have pushed me, I wouldn't have done it.
Grandma.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah. But I used to hate it. I remember as a kid. Yeah.
So you were, I mean, were doing kirtans in the Gurudwara? Was it kind of like that?
Yep. So I was learning like kirtan. There used to be like, I used to call him Master Ji. And he would come home and teach me like shabads. We call like the the poetry. We call it shabad.
Oh.
And it's got like every shabad has a rag associated with it.
Yeah.
So I would learn shabad in the specific rag, and my grandmom would take me to the gurudwara to perform.
The shabad is also, it's what you read out of the book.
Yes.
And like, yeah. I've seen that. You should be very proud of me, Banat, because I went to Punjab state for the first time in December 2022. I'd never been before. It was very exciting. I went to Amritsar. And I went to the Golden Temple because we were doing like this episode about the Langar kitchen. And
Nice. Yeah.
The Golden Temple, man, there's nothing that can describe that experience. It's so incredible.
Yeah, there's something else going on there. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is something, you feel something different there. And it's awesome. So that's why I even know what Shabad means, because I was like, I've been there, okay? I've been to the main Gurudwara, the main one. So as obviously super young, you were 5, you're learning harmonium. It's also semi-classical, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
So where did you kind of move from harmonium to guitar?
So I remember in the 7th grade, my cousin started listening to metal, and he also started playing the guitar. And he was learning the guitar, and he would keep like playing solos. And I found that super cool. And I used to play the harmonium, and I was like, I'm so late. Yeah. And I started listening to Metallica because of him. And
No way.
and that was my gateway into rock and metal music in general.
Yeah.
And then I decided that I want to learn the guitar too. So yeah. So I would say like around the 10th grade is when I started learning the guitar. Yeah.
And you were like, no more harmonium. It's guitar time now.
Yep.
I love it. So I think one of the things that, like, we're talking right now about the fact that, music kind of entered your life through your grandma, and kirtans and harmonium. But what do you think your biggest sort of musical influences were within like the music that you're making now?
I actually had like a straight answer a while ago, but now I don't.
Really?
Because it's changed so much, like the way I approach music and how I want to make it. But I would say like there are a few genres that have influenced me, and then there are artists within those genres. So I would listen to a lot of Sufi music growing up.
Oh.
And for me, like at home, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan was like constantly
It was
playing.
like basic. Like that was
Yeah.
every
Yep. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
Qawwali and all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents are really into Qawwali and Sufi music, ghazals, all of that. So Ghulam Ali and Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan is something that I've like grown up listening to.
Yeah.
I still love it. I'm really influenced by how, how like powerful a voice can be, and how melody can just change things, right? Because I find that Sufi or Qawwali or just Hindustani music in general, is very melodic. As compared to other, Western music genres that also have a lot of focus on rhythm. So I'm really inspired by how just melody and a voice can make you feel so many things.
Yeah.
There isn't much going on in terms of arrangement, all of those things. It's pretty basic in terms of the arrangement. And I was like, that is really cool. And apart from that, I would say like I was really inspired by Jeff Buckley, because I used to like, I think I even had dreams about him when I was younger. Yeah.
Which was your favorite?
Jeff Buckley song?
Yeah.
I would say my favorite is Dream Brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Really like that song. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where one piece of information I did not know. You studied law?
Yeah.
So where did the I don't want to do lawyering, I want to do musicking happen?
I think like I'm just in general, I make like split like decisions. Okay, with music, I completely stopped playing music or practicing all of those things when I decided
law.
when I decided I want to do law, because I thought that music as a career option wouldn't work in my house. So, and I was like, okay, what's the next thing I want to do? Law. But when I was in college, I actually did a lot of cultural festivals. And
As you do. Yep.
yeah. And,
Please tell me you had a college band.
yeah, but like I was in a law school. So we were like,
You said there's no music
yeah.
in law schools?
There is, but there are like 5 musicians in the school. And then, and I was kind of bored of seeing them all the time too. I was like, no.
I need to find new people to hang out
Yeah.
with.
So yeah, in my final year of law, I started playing like a lot of open mics and stuff, and I was writing music even before that.
Yeah.
And then that's when I decided I want to pursue music and not law. But thankfully, I haven't looked back since. I haven't changed my mind since then. So,
You didn't
yeah.
go, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I need to.
No, not yet. Not yet.
So I obviously had the chance to binge on your music. And I have to say, there's something really different about sort of your arrangements and the way you do music, which is why like it's interesting listening to you do Punjabi folk because you have a certain vocal quality. It sounds different in your voice. But yeah, some of my favorite songs were Tabir and
Tabir,
Ode.
yeah.
They're so beautiful. And by the way, one of my favorite, I know this sounds really weird, one of my favorite songs of yours, like literally at the top, is Mammals Alive.
Oh my gosh.
You need to
You've
do
heard that song?
more. You need to do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Please do more Mammals Alive. Yeah. And I know that's like some kind of deep cut from nowhere, but that song, I was like, why is there not more of this? There needs to be more of Mammals Alive. So anyone, please go. Mammals Alive. It's on SoundCloud. I'm going to ruin you. Not everyone's going to be like, we must listen to Mammals Alive. So, I also really like the way sometimes you describe your music. So I think your first debut single, which was called Moon, you talked about how you were asking emotional questions because you were a novice adult. I was like, I've never heard anyone say the words novice adult. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm a novice adult right now sometimes. But yeah, so what are the things that you kind of write about in your music?
So Moon, that I really felt like I was learning how to handle emotions then. I really didn't know how to do it. I was an angsty teenager, you know, and Moon is just about that. Just me being angsty and super emo.
Weren't we all? Yeah. I was like vigorously writing poetry in my diary, man.
yeah, same. But since then, what do I write about? I write mostly about like an experience.
Yeah.
So if I feel inspired by something, it's not like I immediately sit and write, but I revisit that place again. Like this is what I generally do. And think about what I really liked about, why was I so inspired about that place or that event. So experiences or cats. Yeah. Yeah.
Cats?
Yeah.
Do you have cats?
Yeah, I have 4 cats.
You have to tell me because our entire audio production department is a cat owner. So please tell me, how many cats do you have? What are their names?
Yes. So I have 4 cats. The oldest one, her name is Alma.
Okay.
She was born inside the house. Her mom she was also my pet, but her mom died recently. Not recently, it's been 2 years. And
Elma sounds like an old lady name. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I was reading a book when I named her, and the protagonist of the book was called Alma. So it's like, yeah, she's an Alma, but she's not actually an Alma. Yeah.
She's more like a Tina.
yeah, she is actually. And then the second one is Maury. I was reading Tuesdays with Maury. Yeah.
I was like, what is all these old people names?
And then the third one is Bumble.
Oh,
yeah, that changed
like
then. Yeah. And the last one is Dodo. I feel like, the name's kind of dumbed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Dodo is a paraplegic cat. But it's been a really cool experience living with a paraplegic cat. I feel like I've gotten more responsible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really, it's been eye-opening.
Is it like all 4 of her legs or just 2 or?
Yeah, so his hind legs, he can't walk and he also can't can I say Pee or poop? Yeah.
Of course you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, he
It's my
can't.
own podcast. You can
So,
say pee and poop all the time.
so
I
he's
talk
in,
about
yeah.
poop all the time. Every
Yeah.
episode I'm talking about poop. It's fine.
So yeah, he wears diapers and like,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness,
it's cute.
diapers.
Yeah.
Actually, what is the second song going to play for us today?
So the next song is called Madhaniya. And this song is, I keep saying this, but it's a song that Punjabis are obsessed with because it's about marriage.
You're
Yeah,
obsessed
they
with
play.
that too, but like
Yeah, well, the entire world is obsessed. No, India's obsessed, I would say.
India
Yeah.
particularly.
But this song it's a really nice song about, this is a song that a mom would sing to her daughter when she's about to get married. So it's like a bittersweet moment for her because she's leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's going to miss her, but she's also very happy that, she's going and continuing her life on her own. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Madhaniya.
Madhaniya, हाय वे मेरेया डाडिया रब्बा किन्ना जम्मिया किन्ने ले जानिया हाय हाय वे मेरेया डाडिया रब्बा किन्ना जम्मिया किन्ने ले जानिया हाय Madhaniya बाबुल तेरे महला विचों सतरंगिया कबूतर बोले हाय बाबुल तेरे महला विचों सतरंगिया कबूतर बोले हाय Madhaniya हाय वे मेरे डाडे रब्बा किन्ना जम्मिया किन्ने ले जानिया हाय हाय वे मेरे डाडे रब्बा किन्ना जम्मिया किन्ने ले जानिया हाय Madhaniya ah
I wanted to ask you a question. I'm very excited about this because we were talking about your emo phase. So there was like another song that I heard of yours called Free. And I saw it as a YouTube video. And I there is like an opening slate, and I'm gonna read it out because I can.
Oh my God.
Where
I
you
forgot
said,
about that.
my mind could be an explosion of colorful experiences that shape my intuitions, but it is a white light scatter that casts cynical delusions of stunted perceptions. Experiences wasted on a logical brain.
Oh my God.
Are
I'm
you
cringing so hard. Yeah. Yeah.
You're getting like muscle pulls from the pure cringe, right?
Yeah.
Are you like, what have I done? You're gonna take that down now? Like, take down Free and
Yeah.
like...
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So I get this. This is a clear example of the emo phase.
Yep.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like you're there, or you're like, I'm so past that?
Yeah. I'm so past it. I'm not even kidding. I feel like I'm way past feeling too emotional about things.
Yeah.
Like I'm aromantic. I'm like, I mean, no, I'm like, I am, but like, I just hate like, just over expression sometimes. I'm like just so over that emo phase. So yeah.
I get it. I mean, I have to say, I like a decent amount of cheese, but like, there's also stuff like that is a little like, oh, so emo. I thrive on like the extra emo. So one of the things I think that you'd mentioned a little earlier was about you didn't see being a musician as something that was viable, and then you wanted to take up law. And I think one of the things I think we kind of found in an interview was that you said that your parents would still introduce you as a lawyer and not a musician.
Yeah.
Do they still do that?
It's changed a little bit.
A little.
Yeah. I mean, now they're like, oh, she's a musician and she's also a lawyer. So yeah, they start with musician now, but they've accepted it. Yeah. So
how long did it take for them to accept it though?
It took them a while. I think that they did not expect me to go down this path at all. It came out of nowhere. And they were like, okay, she's going to do it as like a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side project.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then when I was like, no, I'm not even sitting in interviews for like jobs. Because I don't think I can do two things, especially with law, because it can be super taxing. Like the work hours are crazy.
Yeah.
And while
either
I was
you're in it or you're not.
Exactly. So yeah, it took them some time to get used to the fact that I'm a musician now. But I think what really helped is that I started a music institute. So
the Acoustic Classroom.
The Acoustic Classroom. And they saw that I can do something legitimate, make some money with, being a musician. And then now they're like on board. They're like, cool.
They're like, just teaching also. That is also another thing.
Yeah.
Oh, makes sense. Now that I made your parents sound South Indian, but still. But I have to also, and I'm super curious about this because having done, I mean, you're, I think there's only one other person who I know who's done law and is a musician, is Aditi Ramesh.
Yeah.
And do you think that law in any way helps you with music?
I think, yes. How it really helped me is that I feel like not just law, but being in law school just shaped me a bit more as like being more well-rounded as a person. So I used to be super shy, still am, but going to law school really changed that. So, I was open to like trying more things because of that, like getting out there and performing, for instance, is something that I started doing when I was in law school. So before that, it was like I wouldn't have thought about doing it on my own. So the law school experience really changed me as a person. Wow. So yes, it did help me.
Interesting. Yeah. So I think, so obviously you started, like when we're talking about composing, you've said that you've been more comfortable composing on a piano than you would on a guitar. Does this kind of harp back to the days when you were banging out kirtans on the harmonium? Like, is that why you feel like you compose better on a piano?
I just think I'm naturally better at it. I could never crack the guitar. Like,
Oh,
my fingers pain too much. And I don't want to
got
say that
it.
out loud. I sound stupid when I say it. But
No, you don't. It's
yeah.
fine.
But I also feel like it's just the kind of instrument for me. Because
Yeah.
I do look at myself, or at least when I'm writing music, I'm composing a piece before I actually make it into a song for myself,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I really enjoy doing that on the piano because it gives you freedom to work on so many things. It gives you rhythm, it gives you
Yeah.
different sounds, it gives you whatever you want. You can also like produce with it with like
Yeah.
a MIDI. So like
Correct. Yeah.
I love the keys because of that, because of how
Far more diverse it is as an
true,
instrument than
yeah.
like,
And
yeah.
I also think visually it's easier for me to understand the keys.
Because you can see
It's
everything
everything's
in
right
front
there.
of you.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah,
So I'm not a piano player, but like I did, I mean, that was one of the first instruments I ever learned how to play. So even for me, visually, you can see everything,
yeah.
right? You can see all the notes, you can see everything. And you already, I agree with you. It's so easier to calculate, if you had to create a harmony, like you know exactly how you're going to do it.
Yep.
And yeah, it was way easier. So, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, and you brought it up already, is the acoustic classroom,
Yeah.
which is fascinating. So I wanted to kind of understand because you've said that you were inspired by a particular kind of philosophy and teaching style. So can you explain what that is? It's called. I'm sure I murder the pronunciation, so you tell me.
Yeah. So it's called Dalcroze Eurythmics. And I stumbled upon this methodology because I was interested in making an academic program for schools. And I wanted to see how you could merge like music with understanding fluency in language. So essentially, they're all interlapping. Everything has a structure. So when I was looking for other programs that have used music to understand like language fluency, it's understanding how to read better for kids who have trouble with it, I stumbled across this methodology. So there were two. There was Codely and there was Dalcroze Eurythmics. And I think Codely is more widely used as like a method for teaching younger kids. But I was really fascinated by this because what this methodology, what it really entails is that everything that you see, uh, observe, things happening with you, everything has a structure to it. Everything has a rhythm to it. So things like your heartbeat, okay, it beats, uh, it beats
Yeah.
like with a specific space in between, right?
Yeah.
And if you really explain that to a kid who understands the concept of a heartbeat, and they're like, okay, and now use that same thing to apply to the beat of a song. So essentially, the space between each beat is just like your heartbeat, right? So you start applying things that students would see, observe on a daily basis, like day and night, sun rising, sun setting. It's all a rhythm. So things like that, one. And the second thing is just using the body and movement to understand music theory. So, which
Nice.
again, I find like very engaging for kids. So, which is why I started the early childhood program, which is like one of the biggest programs of the institute now. So, yeah, it's
Nice.
nice.
That's so fascinating, though. This kind of is like, when you're using like a frame of reference to help people understand something. So when I was in college, I was working for the disability department, and basically my job was to be a note taker. I would like be hired to like take notes for people with disabilities in the classroom. And so one of the things was that there was this girl who was visually impaired, and my only job was to take her to choir and take her home. And what happened was that she also had epilepsy, but her epilepsy was sort of when her immunity was down, she would get fits. And so I learned so much from her. And one of the things was that she was born blind. So then I asked her, like, how do you understand color? And how do you understand it? And a lot of it is based on frame of reference. So if the sky is blue, then it's bright. If it's gray, it's overcast. If a banana's yellow, it's ripe. If it's black, it's rotten. So
Right.
they understand through. So it was a really interesting way of sort of understanding how to learn things,
Yeah.
because then you're using these frame of references to sort of explain things or help people understand it a
Yeah.
little better.
I think what it really helps with is reinforcing a concept with with kids who have very less attention span. And also the idea is for them to be able to retain this until the very end. And, you know, so if you just sit through a theory class, you're going to forget things.
Yeah, it's going to go through one ear, out the other. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the idea is for them to experience it, understand it, and retain it all their lives, and then see what they want to do with it, of course. But
eventually,
yeah.
Interesting. So, so you were in before the pandemic, 2019. You did a UK tour.
Yeah.
How was that? Please tell me that you went to South Hall, like Punjabi Central.
I did actually. I didn't go there.
For shame.
Yeah, I should have gone, but I was just when I wasn't playing a gig, I was enrolled for like a summer program for music, and then otherwise I was just chilling. So yeah, but it was great. That was such a good tour. The response was amazing.
To your music,
yeah, and to like my original stuff, of course, but also to Punjabi folk, and I was doing both.
Interesting.
Yeah, and since like I mean, just before the pandemic, I was to go for another one with the band this time. There were like a few people I had met there, and we were supposed to play together, but it got cancelled because of the pandemic.
God.
And I don't have it in me to plan another one right now. So
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So what are your plans at the moment? Are you working on some new music? Are you going to be releasing something?
Yeah, I am working on some original music, but what is like top of the agenda is releasing a Punjabi folk album this year.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I'm
excited about that. That's going to be really cool.
Yep.
So are you kind of in a space where you're researching now, or do you already have like a bunch of folk songs that you know that you're going to put on the album? Like, where are you at?
I think I'm pretty set on what I want to put on the album in terms of the songs. I'm looking for the right kind of collaborations for this because I want it to be a little bit more than just this.
Yeah. The guitar.
The guitar or the keys, or more than just me playing. I want it to be like combining certain elements of other folk cultures or other music genres that that would work together with Punjabi folk. Because this doesn't sound typically like Punjabi folk, it's quite contemporary as well.
Yeah.
So there is scope to do a lot more and just like see what we can do with this album. But yeah, that's what I'm really working on right now, is looking at what kind of people I want to work with for each song.
That'd be really cool. I mean, I can tell you one thing. When I was listening to Daachi, I was feeling a string section. That's what I was feeling. I was like, this deserves a string section. Because it just sounded like that.
Yeah.
Because I think even when you're playing the guitar, it feels very like, I don't know. I was feeling it. That's my vibes. I mean, music is unbelievably subjective, as you know.
True.
So what's your last song you're playing for us today?
So the last song is called Ankhiyan Nu Rehn. And this actually it's been covered by Bollywood.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the movie, but it was sung by Reshma, the singer from Pakistan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What does it mean?
This is also kind of like a song about love,
Of course.
Yeah. And yeah. There are a lot of songs about love in Punjabi folk music. But yeah, so it means that my eyes are longing for you. Like, so yeah, like I want to see you.
Why are you laughing?
I feel like, you know what the problem is?
You're like, this is too emo for me now because I'm way past that time.
No, not really. It's just that it sounds beautiful in Punjabi, but like when you translate it, it sounds so basic, and it's more than that, it's quite poetic. I really like how it's written, but I don't want to translate it, make it sound like shit. So yeah. But
you'd be like, unless you're Punjabi, you have no idea.
Yeah.
So basically it's like my eyes are...
Yeah, because the lovers have been separated. So, I want to look at you, I miss you.
This is why you didn't want to translate it.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Okay, so last song is called?
Ankhiyan Nu Rehn. Ankhiyan Nu Rehn de Ankhiyan de kor ko Jan pardesiya bol pave na po ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਰ ਕੋਲ ਚੰਨ ਪਰਦੇਸੀਆ ਬੋਲ ਪਾਵੇ ਨਾ ਬੋਲ ਹੋ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਬਿਖਰਦਾ ਚਾਹਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੁਖ ਪਰਦਾ ਬਿਨਾ ਨੇੜੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਬਸ ਡੋਲਾ ਦੂਰ ਦੂਰ ਜਾਵੀ ਨਾ ਦੂਰ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਛੱਡ ਬਸ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਲ ਚੰਨ ਪਰਦੇਸੀਆ ਬੋਲ ਪਾਵੇ ਨਾ ਬੋਲ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਲ ਚੰਨ ਪਰਦੇਸੀਆ ਬੋਲ ਪਾਵੇ ਨਾ ਬੋਲ ਹੋ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਲ ਚੰਨ ਪਰਦੇਸੀਆ ਬੋਲ ਪਾਵੇ ਨਾ ਬੋਲ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇ
Thank you so much. Listen, just one small thing. If you don't just like, share, subscribe. Okay, please. Thanks. Okay, thank you. Bye.